They're mad because on Crip Gang, I could see Jason Whitlock. And it's funny because Jason brought me on his show. Like Jason, the
You
first
did?
person that put me on national television.
Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, I can see cuz watching Sinners being mad. Like, look at these coons up on this motherfucker, all these niggers that don't believe in TV.
I love that Ryan Coogler just set that record. I don't know. There's a lot going on with that movie. I hate to say because that feels anti-black. I did not love Sinners. I thought it was dope, but I didn't love it. It's not my favorite Ryan Coogler movie.
Are you right there like with the what was it? What was it? Was it Rolling Stone?
I think it deserves Best Picture nomination. I don't know if it should win. I think it deserves the nomination. I think
what should win over Sinners?
So what should win?
Yeah, like
I don't know. I'm just gonna say there's definitely movies I like better.
What films did you see that you feel like should win?
One movie I love that I don't want to give a whole bunch of white niggas time. I'm not trying to do that. You know what I mean?
I'm talking about the best because I'm a film guy.
My favorite movie this past year was Eddington. Nobody even saw it. I like Eddington.
Did you see the movie with Tyler? What was the name? The
Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I didn't see that shit.
Okay.
Didn't it just come out?
Yeah,
it just came out
just opened up this weekend.
Like a month ago.
It was been out for like about a month now.
Like a month ago.
Yo, Marty Supreme got more pro. Sinners had crazy promo. I feel like the summer all niggas was talking about was Sinners.
Yeah.
I think they gaslighting people to make them believe something that didn't even happen. I barely see
it. Was a good movie though. Man. Don't do that. It was a good movie.
Nah, the Marty Supreme.
Come on, man.
Marty Supreme.
PG.
No, Sinners. I'm talking about Sinners. I'm talking about Sinners.
No,
this was dope.
This reminds me how people reacted when Black Panther came.
They was bad.
Hell no.
Man, the niggas like it too much though. Fuck it, man. I don't gotta like it.
You think so? Niggas think Sinners is as strong as Black Panther?
Yeah.
I think Sinners was good because I think Sinners had layers on it.
I think it's better.
It might have been stronger.
It's better acting. It's a better plot. Everything is better. It's better visually.
Michael B. Jordan did his thing. Everybody did their thing. To me, my main problem with the movie is I really didn't need it to be all those. I didn't need it to be a time travel, music, survey.
It was connecting blackness.
You didn't like the layers. You like the layers of the movie then.
It was just too. This is the same problem I had with American Fiction, which won an Oscar and won Best Screenplay.
With Jeffrey Wright and
I hated that shit because it was 7 movies at once.
Yeah,
I wanted to see one of those movies. Fall in love with Erica Alexander, or help your sister out, or save your parents' house, or do
you're
one.
A harsh critic, PG.
It was 7 movies, and none of them got finished. That's the thing I didn't like about Sinners. By the time they introduced those vampires, I'm like, man, I just want to follow the twins and what they doing.
Yeah. We back, gatekeepers. This is episode 8 right now. You know, pulling up with my comrades, pulling up in the we got the Sprinter right now. We ain't even in the crib right now. We in the Sprinter right now. You know what I mean? 7-passenger Sprinter. Me myself, I'm Trap Bradshaw. You know, representing the QUEENZ. Got my man, your favorite Uncle Trill. You know what I mean? Creating the wave. You ain't waving? Oh, there you go, right there. There you go. Got the wave right there. Got the guard. You know what I'm saying? Shatiff from the building. You know what I mean? The Sprinter. Got MIQUO, you know, one of the dopest MCs that come out of Houston in a long time.
Gratitude for sure.
Got my man PG. I will not call him by his handle. He can say it himself if you want to, but I call him PG. What's your name again? Yeah, but yeah, there you go, right there. You know. I got the Loke up in it, you know what I mean? Glasses. The man with the bifocals, you know. You know, glasses, Loke, LOC. That was the hardest line of that song right there, B.
Which one?
When Son said that? When Son said that the Jurassic 5 dude said that, joint? When he said, you want to hit a man with glass. You want to hit a man with glass. That was like a triple entendre when he said that shit, B.
That nigga was nice, bro, on that song.
Yeah, he was dope.
Doing that song with the Jurassic 5 was like really dope. Because I felt like people really don't see how much, like, we talk about it a lot, you know what I mean? To me, like, where what you call backpack rap or conscious rap, when it's really, you can see how much, when it connects to like a gangster rap, you can see the street urban connection when you hear like a group like Jurassic 5 with me, Joey, and Deuce, you know, me and the LA Giants. You could hear it and you'd be like, damn, these niggas they just start to sound like a bunch of LA niggas.
That's a fact. Yo, I got my man Diamonds. Now, I mean, I don't know what he want to go by today. If you want to go by Black Lex, Lex Diamonds. I mean, he got mad different handles, but Lex, what's up, man? What's going on, man? You good? You froze? I think he froze. He froze.
Nah. He's not frozen.
Nah, he froze. He froze.
His mic muted. His mic is muted. What you
doing?
doing?
He froze. He froze.
I want to hear the echo.
Man. Get it together.
All right.
No, hold on. What you gonna call me today is
yo.
Yeah. You don't want to know what that means, kid. You don't want to know what that means.
That was hot.
We got Queens. Everyone from Queens in 1989 know what that means. Word up.
I don't know. That was 9 years old.
It's 2026. It's 2026.
I don't know what that means right there. Yo, we got Steve, the producer. We're going to get to this, man. Word. Like I said, it's Gatekeepers episode 8 right now. We getting there. We almost at double digits. We're going to be there in a minute, though. You know what I mean?
2 more episodes.
2 more. We're going to be there. I told Lex, I promised him something by episode 10. I think we're going to get it, though. You know?
I like Sinners, but I really like Sinners, bro. I like Sinners.
It's great.
I like Sinners better than Black Panther.
Black Panther, and I agree.
Not Black Panther 1. Black Panther 2, maybe. Black Panther 2 sucked.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen.
It was underwhelming, but I'm not gonna say it's trash.
I'm a Marvel guy. I fuck with Marvel. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? I get the niggas fuck with the Black Panther shit. Is great. It's great. But Sinners is a way better film, bro. It's like from the cinematics, the production. You know what I'm saying? From the storyline, you feel me? From the layers, the symbolization. You feel me? The message, like it's just way harder. Like,
would you argue it's his best film overall?
He got some good movies though, bro. He got good movies.
Close.
It's one of them.
You got,
he got
Creed joints. You got Fruitvale.
I like it the most.
He's done maybe 4, no 5.
Fruitvale
is in my top 5.
He did the first 2 Creeds.
He did the first Creed. He did Fruitvale. He did Creed. He did Black Panther 2, and Sinners. This is only his 5th film.
Fruitvale probably I'm gonna tell you this.
That shit is very sad.
I watched that motherfucker.
Hold on, what happened? I think Michael B. Jordan did the other Creeds.
He did the third. Michael B. did the third one. Somebody else directed the second one. I forget who it was.
Oh, he directed the third one, Michael?
Yeah, Michael B. did it.
Directed the third one.
Oh, I had no idea, man.
So y'all finished praising that movie? Can I give the truth?
Go ahead.
All right. Just because you can get it on screen, because most 50% of that is he did it. He got it done. Oh, it's a black film, a black crew, and that's 50% of the film. When you take a topic and you can barely tie it together, and you do that, if we tied in all of Hype Williams' videos and made a film, y'all cats would be here like, that was a dope film. Even though it's all different. That movie was a C. Now, I love the imagery. I love the folks, the actors. Yo, Michael B. did his thing. But come on, y'all. When will y'all start being honest? This seconds me. That's it. Thank you.
Listen, my favorite.
I wanted to just see Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo just hang out in that town. That's all.
Facts.
Like all the other shit, it was dope, but it was like, yeah, but
it would have been a dope.
What happened?
It wouldn't have been as dope if they didn't tie them together.
If that doing shootouts and trying to run from the law,
bro, it would have been a dull ass 1970s western, and I'm a niggas that watch westerns. That wouldn't have been enough, my nigga. It's not
every
enough.
Single part of the movie ties the whole movie together.
What are we talking about?
Wait, hold on. So when y'all saw when they was inside the Sugar Shack dancing, and you saw you saw the dude break dancing, and you saw the DJ. That all tied in together. That makes sense.
Oh yes. Oh my God.
I like
the Sugar Shack.
That was hold on a second. That was saying how black music, how everything comes from black music, bro. That's what that was showing.
Trill. It's a time period piece. You don't have to go back and show that. That's my point. It's a period piece.
Let me ask
you. Don't go back and show Kendrick.
If they did if Coogler did a sequel, directed a sequel, that it was just those two twins robbing a bank and trying to get away with it. There's no vampire shit at all, but it's just them robbing the bank and getting away with it, and Delroy Lindo helps. If that sequel came out, would you watch that movie?
It sounds like a billion movies I watched before.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like
PG. It sounds cliche as fuck. It sounds like a billion, and I fuck with film, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I like the movie, because it got so many angles in it. Like that's what made it stand
it's not
out
just
to me.
a horror film.
That's like saying Heat or The Town is cliche because it's a heist film. It's like
right. PG, the movie that you just pitched, the movie that you just pitched. What if in the middle of it, now we want to talk about slavery and what's going on and why they became bank robbers? Oh, they tied in well. That makes no sense.
If they did that one thing, but if they then try to do the history of music,
purposely just nitpicking the movie,
and then you know what I mean? It's like, and then have Irish music.
I actually
like,
enjoyed
nigga,
the movie.
what?
That shit was great.
It's a great film, man.
It was a lot of great films.
I don't want to hate on it
here,
because
but
niggas
that one is
enjoy it.
easily
I'm not gonna
top
say you're wrong. Maybe
right.
something that I missed.
You can enjoy it. It's an eye film. It's all right. It's not great.
We talking about a movie. I don't think it's nitpicking because we're talking about a movie that got the most Oscar nominations ever. So I think it's fair for Lex to be just as harsh as he wants to be. And if we go be completely honest, it's not a great movie to me. I saw it in the theaters. It probably isn't a C movie like Lex says, but it's definitely like a B minus. Like, I don't think it was an amazing movie. And a lot of the things I feel about the movie have already been said about it. Like, some of them parts, they overdid it. That whole part when they went, like Lex said, they went back to all the 1920s music and all that shit. That was completely unnecessary. It had nothing to do with the actual film. That part was corny.
It had everything to do with the film.
It was niggas on Twitter. It was pandering to niggas on Twitter, and I don't think that real film director should be pandering to a group of fucking nobodies on Twitter. I think you have to create your art. You have to create your art. I don't think that was in his original vision. Like, I'm going to make this movie about these guys in the 1930s that robbed somebody. Oh, and in the middle, we're going to have this guy start going to this music piece. And it's going to connect all black music into what's going on in 1932 at this small place in Mississippi. That shit is corny. I told my wife at that moment in the movie, I said, that shit is corny. Why the fuck did they do all that?
All right. So the thing about it was this, though, right? The thing about it was this. All right. So what it showed, it brought it back to show you that all music comes from black music, and then within the demon or the vampires coming, it was to show that then after we create the music, they always try to come in and infiltrate the music, though.
Bloodsucker, the vultures.
They be the bloodsucker, the vultures of
people that already talking to another group of people. We already know that as black people.
You know what's crazy, Trill? It's a key component to what you said. You said a small town in Mississippi. If that shit was done in the Bronx, you would have been bravo. You would have been clapping your motherfucking hands, man. I don't want to hear that
in the Bronx. I would have loved to also just follow the blues musician and then see the evolution of the music and just have the Michael B. Jordan characters be side characters and just follow, because each of those parts of the movie, I was hoping, oh, this is the movie, but no, it was all of them. So I never got to be I never got to be satisfied by any of them because I wanted to follow just the blues.
You know what it reminds me of? You know what it reminds me of, oddly? The Godfather. Right?
You bring everything back to the Godfather.
Cinematography. because what makes the Godfather, the movie, the story of the Godfather itself.
That's heavy. It's
a C- story. Where it really does a great job is acting and cinematography. And that's what really drives this film. Acting and cinematography.
That's a great point.
Michael B.
And that's kind of why it's rewarded. He took a lot of gambles on the way it looks. That's something Lex.
I mean, for the most part, what are you rewarded for when it comes to getting rewards, though?
Acting
and cinematography.
They got all types of. They got costume.
But the main awards is for the co-star, the actor. You know what I'm saying? How they acted. You know what I'm saying? They don't really get into storylines really of how. I mean, the writers get awards though. Yeah.
But I don't think we should skip past what PG said. I think PG made
So
a really important point. If it was just a movie about the blues singer and then the Michael B. Jordan, all that stuff was in the periphery, I think that would be an extremely interesting story to have a son of a pastor that's into making blues, just so happens to have these cousins that happen to rob some bank and all that stuff. I think that would make for an extremely interesting movie.
And do the evolution of black music in that movie, but just with that, not also with vampires, not also with the twins having affairs with women. It's too much.
You know what's crazy? You said that though, but like me personally, bro, like I said, I'm a film nigga, but I'm also like my favorite films are horror. I fuck with horror films. I love a good horror film. In this era, my nigga, we not getting them motherfuckers like that. So I get what y'all saying, but I think it was a good angle to use that motherfucker. The vampires, literally bloodsuckers. You know what I'm saying? With them people, with them folks as the blood. I think it was a good angle. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I understand where y'all coming from. At the end of the day, it could have been more concise if y'all wanted to say that. But I feel like he expanded, and I think it was more layered with him bringing all these different elements into that film, which is why it's nominated how it's nominated, my nigga. It's a layered film for real, for real. And I get niggas ain't gotta say it's like it's too deep and you gotta be woke to it. Ain't even that. It ain't that.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
that.
Like not to me at least, but to other people it may be so. You know, not to us, but I think the layers that are in the film, you know what I'm saying, is why it's held to the regard that it's held in. You know what I'm saying?
I think.
I understand.
Hold on. I think with the vampire aspect of that film, they gave white folks a back door to escape into the back door to the shit they did to us. So I want them to deal with the shit they did to us. And now they're going to tell me, no, these white people weren't crazy. They were vampires. No, motherfucker. They weren't no fucking vampires. That's how they get down.
Definitely.
Let's lay it all out. Was it a back door or a front door? Because niggas is too inviting. Let's talk about it.
Right
you know
now.
What I'm saying? What we talking about,
right now, Lex.
What we talking about?
Right
like,
now.
I think it was real. I think it was all intentional, my nigga. Like, you feel me? Like that's why I fuck with it. Niggas is too inviting, bro. I think it was a front door. Like it's literally telling you what is going on and what has been going on.
But even the movie speaks against that because part of the movie is a lot of the people that fuck with Smoke and Stack and help them were people from other cultures. It wasn't that cut and dry. It wasn't that black and white.
That's the point. That's what I'm saying. Niggas is too inviting.
How did they help us? How did they help us?
Nigga, that's the point. People see, nigga was in love with the white joint. She ain't do it. She turned out to be no good for him.
She wasn't fully white.
Whatever. If you mulatto, you white, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck. If you ain't 100% pure black, nigga, I don't give a fuck about none of that. You know what I'm saying? The Asian joint, who ended up opening the door for the people? The Asian joint. You know what I'm saying? They let the Asian joint in. She real comfortable. She tripping because her husband. She the one who opened the door for real. You know what I'm saying? I think everything was on Front Street. Yeah, bro. Like, hey, listen. Stop hating them niggas. That's, you know what I'm saying, that's really trying to put the pieces to the puzzle. Y'all gotta stop that shit. We got, you know what I'm saying? We gotta champion these type of brothers, you know what I'm saying?
No, we champion them.
Purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas ain't respecting the gate. They ain't respecting the gate.
Yeah, bro.
Listen, I don't say I love everything Ryan Coogler does. He's too great for that for me to pander to him. Like that's
I ain't mad at that. But I'm talking about that film in particular. I fuck with it. I ain't mad at that. I ain't saying
as well. He's a great. Yeah. I even feel bad saying I don't like the movie because that's how much I fuck with Ryan Coogler.
Nah, for sure.
It's not even that I didn't like it. It just wasn't my favorite of his.
That's your opinion. Yeah, I agree. I ain't mad at that.
I already said I fuck with the movie, man. MLK Day just passed, man. So that's all I'm gonna say for now.
I love it.
Nigga, you had a dream.
The movie. Yeah, man. Niggas was just squabbling.
Bring it home, man.
And now niggas shitting on this movie, man. We gotta stop.
We bring it home, man.
We're not shitting on a movie. We're just giving an honest opinion. And I feel like that's something that's missing out of black art. Anytime someone offers an honest opinion on black art, it's gonna be a group of people that's gonna say, "Oh, they hate and they this, that, and the third." We gotta be just as hard on black art as any other art, because at the end of the day, it's just art. And if art isn't good, it doesn't matter what the face is behind the art. It doesn't matter who painted the picture. If I'm looking at the picture and I feel like there's more to be desired, or it's not as good as I expected it to be, I should be able to speak on that. It shouldn't be, oh, Ryan Coogler's a young black man. Young black men that made some bad movies, young black men that made some great movies. I can't base my assessment on a movie on what race the director is, because then I'm no different than the other people.
I mean, I feel you, Trill, but we love our luminaries. We try to protect them because we feel, this, we feel they haven't been protected in the past, so we feel a way about it, and I respect all sides of it. I respect all of it.
I mean, I just respect the nigga ideology.
It don't matter nobody's opinion anyway. The movie did really good. It's nominated again. It did all that, so everybody could have their opinion. Like I said, I think the movie proved itself. It don't matter what people think at this point.
It's bad. The proof is in the pudding. You know what I'm saying?
I respect that.
It was a pretty good movie, but
it was decent. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna definitely watch it 2 more times.
I love it. I watched it 6 times.
Nigga, you ain't watched it 2 more times in the theater.
One and done.
3 times in the theater. I've seen it 3 times in the theater,
Bro,
man.
you ain't see it 3 times in the theater.
I did.
I
bet you my mom, with my kids.
3 times in the theater.
Niggas be crazy. Niggas be saying, all right, go ahead.
That's my word. That's my word.
For all 3 showings. You used the same ticket for all 3 showings.
I seen it 3 times in the theater. And I went on Tuesday 2 times. Tuesday at AMC.
Fell asleep twice, man.
But why do black Americans do that? Like, I remember back in the day, black Americans would go to the movie theater. They would get 1 ticket and they would watch movies all day. So they would, I saw every movie that came out this week. And I was like, how'd you do that?
I would do that too. Don't bring up the group chat conversations on here.
Hey, man.
We are not American.
Black people. That's why.
So all right. So now
and watching 7 other movies, that's supporting black people.
See, but I lived in a neighborhood that had a movie theater in it though. So I always was a movie goer though. You know what I'm saying? My neighborhood, I had 2 movie theaters in my neighborhood at one point. So I always was a movie all the time.
Of all the movies you watch in the theater, how many of them did you buy a ticket for?
I mean, I paid for it. Oh man, nah. That's too many. You trying to wait to sneak in at one point.
Man, it's crazy.
Yo, it was crazy, right? So the neighborhood I lived in, right? At one point, we had 2 movie theaters, and we had one movie theater we used to call a movie theater. The other one was the black movie theater. So all like the black movies went to one movie theater. B. It was like really on some racist shit. B. It's like I seen Juice in that movie theater. I seen Above the Rim. I seen like all the black movies was over at this one theater.
The black movies playing in the black theater
because they only show movies with Tupac.
Yeah, that's.
You saw Juice in the theaters? How old are you?
I seen Above the Rim in the theaters.
What's the first 2 movies you saw in the theaters? We can go around with this.
I know what mine was. Mine was
I know what mine is.
The one I remember was Coming to America.
Birth of a Nation.
America.
What 2 you said?
I think it said
I said my first one I remember seeing was Coming to America.
He said, Coming to that's like 87 or some shit.
Hold on, how old were you in like 88?
That's the first one I remember. That's when I remember. I know I probably seen something before that though, but I remember how that whole night when we went to the Chinese Spanish restaurant that was on Main Street, and then we went to the movie theater that was on Main Street too. I went to go see Coming to America.
That must be great,
bro. The first shit I ever seen in the theater was
the most perfect comedy in American cinema. It's such.
What's that? Coming to America?
It's arguable.
It was dope.
Perfect.
So what you saying, Trill? What you saying?
The first 2 movies I saw was Hot Shots, and Ninja Turtles 1.
The first one,
first Ninja Turtles. I'm an old head, man. Come on.
It came out like 92.
91. 2 came out 92.
The question is the first 2 movies you went to go see, like
the first 2 I seen for sure was
movies I went to see. Wow. Go ahead. I'm sorry, fellas.
Nah, my shit was, I ain't gonna lie, I was like 4 years old, nigga. 99 Child's Play on God. I bet my mama. I remember this shit.
First Child's Play?
The first Child's
Play. That wasn't the first Child Play. 99.
That must have been way later.
You saw
that was the first one.
It was the first one for me, nigga. I was 99. Nigga.
That must have been Bride.
That wasn't the first one. That wasn't the
first one. It was definitely Bride of Chucky.
Because the first one came out. You know, I remember. No, that wasn't the first one.
When the first one came out,
I'll probably judge it right now, right? It was in the 80s because I had it because listen, I had a My Buddy dog.
Yeah, it wasn't the first one.
I had a My Buddy dog. You know the My Buddy dog was the reference of the Chucky dog.
And the Chucky dog, yeah.
You're my bestest friend forever.
It was the Chucky, and I had a My Buddy dog, B. Word, I ain't
Creepy,
gonna never
creepy
forget that.
ass dog. Creepy
Yeah, you
ass
must have
dog.
seen Bride of
I used to
Chucky,
beat that shit up. I used to beat
Nah,
that shit up
it
all
went
day,
Bride of
B.
Chucky. It went Bride of
Pause.
Chucky. Bride of Chucky was like 0-1. Yeah, that
Oh
was
yeah, that was
crazy.
a pause.
Yeah, that
I
was
said beat
insane.
that shit up.
Yeah.
Fuck you mean pause? What's the pause? I don't beat
So
that shit
you
up.
don't say it again, nigga.
Hey yo,
Pause.
Say
I'm
it
leaving. I'm
again.
walking. I'm walking. I'll be back.
Beat up your buddy. Shatiff, what about you, Shatiff? I know it's something old.
Y'all
Blazing
disgusting,
Saddles.
man. You gentlemen are disgusting. Very disgusting. I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking, man. It seemed like I forgot what it was, man. It seemed like it's a Friday the 13th or something I saw in theaters first, bro.
What, This Goes to Manhattan?
No, it's shit like Jason 1 or 2, some shit like that, bro. I forgot, man.
You probably see Education of Sonny Carson, man.
Yeah.
You see niggas naming the horror movies.
The first,
Education of Sonny Carson.
Yeah, what's your movie, Lex?
I already know what Lex seen, man. I know you
want to kill his ass.
Come on, chill out. Hold on.
I know you seen the Tyson movie.
Let's do it again.
The first one was E.T., I believe. I think it was E.T.
That might be it. That might be it. That might be the first one I saw, y'all. E.T.
Yeah.
It might
That's
be
like
81,
82.
And then I saw
84.
5 Element Ninjas and stuff like that. It's a karate flick. It was a lot of on Merrick Boulevard, man, and there was a movie theater. That's what was dope about living in black communities, man. We had a movie theater in Lawton on Merrick Boulevard. Everyone from Lawton, Queens, y'all know it, on 228th Street. And all the flicks were
They don't know it, man.
No, we don't.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You a pop-off. Nigga say E.T.
Let's do it again. Is diabolical.
That was the joint. That was the
Pop
joint.
off.
Man, the first one I remember seeing was Wild Wild West. I was like 5.
Wow, I remember that shit. I saw that in the theater too. Oh god. I remember
Second one was this was when Shaq had opened the movie theaters in Newark. I forgot what that shit was called. I went to go see Shrek 2. That was the second one I had seen.
You went to see a cartoon in the movies?
I was a kid.
Yeah, nigga, we was kids.
9 years old.
Nigga, I saw Shrek in the theaters.
What was I supposed to see? Strapped?
Strap came on HBO. Strap came. I watched Strap the first day it came on HBO.
I was on HBO.
That's great for you, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Forrest Whitaker.
Wanted me to go see Locked Up.
Nigga said Strap.
What was I supposed to watch?
Joaquin Woodbine was in Strap. Wasn't no Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker directed it.
I don't think that came out in movie theaters.
Forrest Whitaker directed it.
HBO. He did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's his movie.
When it first came out.
I didn't know that.
Strap.
Strap had an independent run.
In New York.
Yeah.
What you got, Glasses?
First 2 movies I ever saw was Breaking and Disorderlies.
Oh, Disorderlies.
Breaking and Disorderlies.
I'm going back to New York.
You saw him in the theaters, Glasses?
Right.
First movie I ever saw in the theaters. I saw Breaking. I was like 4, bro. And that was the first time I saw it big as hell, bro.
Is that 84 or something?
It's 83, 84, and I think Disorders is like 87.
Did everybody go? Steve, you went?
Yeah, PG didn't go.
Right, PG, what you saying, PG?
PG thinking.
I don't even
Ghost.
remember. I think the first 2 movies I seen in theaters
crazy.
for some reason was 2 Schwarzenegger movies. I think I seen Jingle All the Way and The Last Action Hero.
Fire. Well, that's 2
I didn't like either of those movies. No, I love Jingle All the Way because it's Sinbad. I like Jingle All the Way because it's Sinbad, but Last Action Hero I don't remember liking.
Last
Action was heat, man.
I know I seen Coming to America, but I know I seen other ones. Like you bringing up Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know I seen Total Recall in the theaters.
Fire.
I seen a lot of movies. I can't really think of the 2 that I seen. If I asked my mom, she probably could tell me what it was.
Yeah, the first 2, yeah.
Yo,
didn't Hunger have 3 titties in Total Recall?
Yeah, remember that?
That's the most random thing to bring up in that movie.
That's the one thing I remember. Steve, you were outside then. That's what we knew. That was a movie with 3 titties.
That's so funny.
Lex saw RoboCop.
Yeah, it was crazy that I seen RoboCop in the movie theaters.
Yo, let's do it. I can't. This thing who said let's do it again. I can't believe you.
Let's do it. Let's 124. What was it called? What was the joint called?
Uptown. Uptown Saturday night.
125th Street.
Across 110th Street. Across 110th Street.
Yeah, 110th Street.
Yo, so there's a movie theater on Jamaica Avenue now, right?
Right now, it's the Magic Johnson movie theater.
Do you remember when there was a? You remember VIM?
Yeah.
Trap.
Yeah.
There used to be a movie. There used to be a movie. No, there
it
used
was
to
on
be a
the
movie
other
theater
side.
right
You go
across
the
the
other
street.
way. Yeah, if you go to VIM is all right. You coming down the Coliseum block. If you go left, the movie theater was left, and the VIM was right there, like that.
But
no. Matter of fact, I'm lying. VIM is right next to the movie theater.
On the corner.
I know what you're
talking
about.
That corner. Now you going? All right. You ever saw this movie called Scanners?
No.
I heard
that was the first movie that freaked me out. Huh? We say PG?
Familiar. I think that's a Joel Schumacher.
Yeah, I heard of that shit.
I don't remember.
It was a cat that would just look at you and he would shake and then you make your head explode. It was a horror flick, and this is the 80s, and I was just like, yo, dude.
It sounded like a bad movie.
It was a bad movie, but they made us watch it over. My aunt made us watch it over again to get her 3 hours worth. I wanted to get her out of there.
Yo, we gotta do your glasses. We gotta do that. We gotta do that podcast, baby. We was talking about, man.
Which one?
You know about it too, though. The review, the movie review one we was talking about doing. I ain't gonna put it out there because we ain't doing it yet. So we put the idea out there. Somebody else might take it, Trill. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna keep it under the wraps.
Ideas are made to be stolen, but we just freaking.
I already know. All right, but now you brought up the breaking joint. This wasn't on the topic though, but they was Joe and Jada, they were talking about who started out rapping first, and he was I think we were talking about the gangster rapping first, right?
Yeah.
They was overlooking what's the name? They was overlooking Ice-T. Like Ice-T was really. I wish Shaw was up in here right now. We were talking about this last night too, Glasses. He's really like the first to do a lot of shit, B. With Shaw put me on
he was kind of like the first.
A lot, bro.
From what they said, I know he had Porsche. He was all designer. Just was a cold dude, but he also remember he was older than a lot of the initial dudes too. He wasn't like young like them. Like sometimes
why he doesn't get as much respect.
Ice-T is about to be 70 years old in 2 years.
Yeah, he's born 58, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I know Lex don't want to give credit to somebody that came from Jersey and shit, that came to LA and got their shit cracking. But it's like, this is a dude that had a Porsche in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really got to say much after that. You know what I mean? He told me, I remember he told me the whole story, bro, on how he got on hip hop, right? Like he was listening to the music early on, but he went to he used to write like rhymes in his book. He'd be with all of the dudes from 6-0s, the older dudes that was his boys and shit. And he would write raps kind of just entertaining them. Like they just be hanging out and he'd just get off a rhyme, you know what I mean? And they go to this club called Radio, right? Which is in breaking is called, they made like this kind of fictional version called Radiotron, but they used to go to a club called Radio, and a lot of the dudes from New York, like Russell Simmons used to hang out there when he come to LA. It was a lot of dudes. They had a rap contest for $100. And $100 in 1981, 82 is probably like
stack.
That might be $1,000. Shit.
It's a stack right there.
His homies was like, man, you need to go up there, man, just let them hear something. And he went up there and just got off some rhymes, and he won the $100. And the man said, hey, man, would you come back next week? I'll give you $50. And that's how he started his rap career, like as far as like a professional rapper. Even getting his first record recorded. His first record, people forget, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis recorded his first record in 83. Like they produced.
There's a couple of great interviews. I don't know if he has a Drink Chance, but I know he has one with whole. He has a couple of great interviews that tells his whole story, where Ice-T tells his whole story. He's got a great hip hop story. Like he's Glasses. I mean, I'm not saying anything new, but that dude's a real pioneer.
He's a great orator too. Like he's good at telling his story, because sometimes people have interesting stories and they don't know how to tell it. Like he tells his stories. You could close your eyes, like watching a movie. Like his Drink Champ episodes, he has 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 of the best Drink Champ episodes. They like 4 hours, and there's not a dull moment. Everything about his story is interesting. Every single thing.
You want to hear a story from him or Fat Joe?
Both.
Ice-T. Fat Joe's story might be more entertaining, but I feel like his T story has a lot of substance. It's like a documentary and a movie in one. Whereas like Fat Joe's is gonna be like a scene from like a comedy movie because he gonna put a lot of spice on there.
I need them both, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad you sent me that thing when him and Jada was talking because I agree. Fat Joe is still the most entertaining person on Joe and Jada. I'm talking about they can have a good guest and Fat Joe is still more entertaining. It's funny because when you watch Fat Joe by itself, it's kind of like, okay, this is cool. But when you see him play off of people, you really get to see. And what's funny is him as a hip hop artist, as a creator, it's the same thing. Like the best of Fat Joe is when he's with people. You can kind of see what makes him special. And it's the same thing when he do his podcasting. But his stories, bro, they almost don't sound real. And if I didn't know the kind of person he was and certain people told me it was real, I wouldn't believe it. But it's funny because people don't believe this shit is real. And I'm like, no, these stories are real. It's like niggas really saying this shit happened and I can know they not lying. So
that's the funny thing about Fat Joe. Fat Joe is like almost like the Forrest Gump of hip hop. Like Fat Joe has been everywhere. When you talk about any event, Fat Joe is like 1 degree of separation from either being there or one of his people being there. And like my OG told me about Fat Joe from before rap. So when he tells them stories about the shit he was doing, I'm telling you 99% of those is true. He might throw a little extra mustard on there. And, you know, like the kids think Fat Joe just be capping. They call him Cap Joe. Talk to an old head from the Bronx about Fat Joe before rap. And they gonna let you know.
And the piece Trap sent me where him and Jada was talking with the producer of the show. He was saying that I've made a caricature of myself. He's saying he sacrificed who he was in the streets to be entertaining. And he's right. Like it's rewarded him. Like I can't do it, but he was able to make a caricature of himself where we laugh. And Joe is somebody that ain't really to be played with. No,
at all.
Self down.
He wasn't laughing at Fat Joe before this shit like that. Man.
No, at all. But that's the thing. That's happened before where there's people who were formidable figures and they let themselves. I think Mike Tyson has done it. They let themselves become comedy figures.
I don't think Mike Tyson was laughing at Mike. Niggas wasn't laughing at Mike though. Like
I don't know if I'm gonna laugh at Mike.
You know what Mike? You know what happened with Mike? You know what happened with Mike? When Mike did that one-man show. When he did the one-man show, he was on the stage just talking and all that shit. That's when people started looking at Mike and looking at him like, all right, it was brilliant, it was dope, it was awesome. But it was never to the point where Joe was going to right now. Like people were actually laughing at Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I think nigga would have never laughed at Joe before this right now. You know what I mean?
He don't look like a cornball though. He just looks like somebody who
he don't.
Yeah.
Like he getting older. That's what it look like.
I think he's really secure in who he is, and he's secure in his real history. So he doesn't have to play to, you know, what a 25-year-old thinks about Fat Joe. Like everyone that needs to know Fat Joe's story knows what's factual and what is just internet fodder and stuff like that. But I think it takes a certain level of security, and I think this younger generation doesn't necessarily understand that, so they feel like they have to portray whoever they are front and center all the time. And I think when you have a reputation like Fat Joe had, it wasn't always beneficial to him to be known as the street guy that he was. And same with someone like Mike Tyson. It wasn't always beneficial to them for them to have that reputation in all circles. It works in the streets, it works in hip hop. But when you get into them offices, you want to have, you know, more of a business savvy thing about you. You want to be a guy that people can laugh with and even laugh at. Fat Joe didn't have that reputation in the 90s. Niggas wasn't laughing at Fat Joe in the 90s. It would have been a problem. And I think it's probably like a weight off him. He's like damn near a grandfather now. He's in his 50s. Yeah, and he survived everything he's been through, so no one could take anything away from him.
I think there's a couple of
niggas said one time I went to go visit my aunt and stuck up my cuz.
You know what's interesting? Now this is where integrity comes into play. We have Trill. I love Trill. He wasn't there. He doesn't know how Joe was looked upon back then. He has no idea. Steve has no idea. PG has no idea. Now, there's a good chance that Shatiff crossed paths with him. I'm not saying he did. But we're going to sit here and put him up here based on what he says out of his mouth and some of the cats around him. How do you know? I'm not saying I've crossed paths with the dude. He didn't rock. He didn't shake the streets. What are you talking about?
When did you cross paths with him? What year was this?
Wait. It don't matter. It don't matter. But he says so many far-fetched stories, and you're gonna sit there and say, "Well, no one would ever." They will say that about him. What?
Lex,
How can you say that? How? You know how many cats got their chin checked? We're not gonna talk about what Shatiff did. Do you know
who? Yo, what is going on? Wow.
Finish.
You becoming like the resident hater.
He can hold that.
Say that again. Say that what? I'm doing what?
I was asking if you done.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
So this past week though, Jada don't know. Joe has something to say about
past that.
With the Shatiff thing, I don't think we really want to put that.
Everything Lex just
said. Let's not do that.
No, we don't want to get into that. No. What happened? We need to know.
So he said, but we also said in the lunch hour though too that J. Cole done screwed his head off of the three-headed, whatever they want to call it, the big three monument that they had up there. Do you think it's a possible chance that people are wanting to let him back into that talk, or even back into the graces of being, you know what I'm saying, saluted as being one of the best lyricists in hip hop or of his generation like that, or is he never went nowhere and his spot is solidified like that? Like what you know what I'm saying? What y'all think though, man? Are people ready to let him back in?
They gotta leave him at 3. They gotta leave him at 3, man. He was number 3. That's it.
Cole fans, I don't think they necessarily care. Some of them are divided on how they feel about the decision he made. Like some are indifferent, some are disappointed. So it's really up to the general public about whether or not they want to let him back into the hip hop fold. That's really up to them. I already kind of excommunicated the nigga. I was slandering Cole before it was cool to do so. So I don't got no dog in the fight.
Well, I think with J. Cole, I think his fans have.
I don't know. This is up to the general public, man.
Well, I think his fans have a deep connection to him, though.
People who attend concerts and buy records, the casuals, if you will. Now, hip hop, that might be a different story. The casuals, the general public, people who don't even tune into this shit or they don't necessarily care unless a record comes out. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, I think his fans have a deep connection with him, and I think J. Cole probably has the strongest connection with his fans. I can't hear nobody. Can y'all hear me?
No, we hear you. I hear you.
I can hear you, Trill.
Good.
Oh, yeah. I think
somebody was going to respond to something.
Nah, I'm talking.
You good? He's talking right now. He's talking right now, Steve. I don't know what happens. You might. I don't.
That's on me.
Go ahead, Trill.
No, what I was saying was J. Cole has a deep connection with his fans, and I think like through all the stuff that he's done, from Dollar and a Dream concerts to the Dreamville Fest for the 5 years that it went on, I think his fans have a deep connection with him, and I don't think anything that goes on outside of him and his fans is going to affect their relationship with him and his music. So I think the music is going to land well with his base. How it's going to be, the reception as far as like other people that aren't necessarily J. Cole fans, but still tap into what he does, still listen to his music. I don't know how the climate there is going to be, but I think if the music is good, I think most of it will be forgiven. I think it's really just with the purists, because the purists look at it like you were challenged to do something that you claimed you would be able to do during all these times. And then the moment you had the opportunity to prove that you were this superior lyricist or this superior rapper or whatever, you did not show and prove. Not only did you not do that, you tucked your tail. It'll be one thing if he just simply didn't respond to what happened. It's another thing to respond, apologize, and then delete what you said about somebody that you claim to respect, even though you was disrespectful to them throughout the record. And I think a lot of people have a tough time dealing with that. I don't respect it to a certain respect. As a fan of hip hop, I don't respect it. But as a man, as a father, as a husband, I absolutely respect the stance he took, because your number one job as a husband, a father, is to protect your family. it's not the subject. You don't want to end up like Anton Daniels right now. He went on a whole Tough Tony tour talking all this shit, and then somebody put his daughter on the Summer Jam screen, and now he wants to file a lawsuit. Now he's embarrassing himself. He built this whole brand on being this unadulterated guy that speaks all this truth.
And his wife.
Yeah, now his wife and daughter's on the Summer Jam screen, and he wants to sue. And I think the direction that battle ended up going in, I don't think J. Cole wanted his family to be exposed in that type of way. And not saying that would have happened or wouldn't have happened, but at the end of the day, I feel like if the music is dope, I'm listening to the album the minute it comes out. As soon as that album hits Spotify, I'm listening to it. I don't know if I'm going to love it. I don't know if I'm going to hate it, but I'm absolutely going to listen, and I'm probably going to buy the vinyl. I respect J. Cole, not only as an artist, but for what I know about him as a man. And I like to see people like J. Cole be successful.
Yo, why is Lex praying? Lex is down there praying while you were talking.
Let me say this. The reason why we love J. Cole is because he represents the balance. He represents Drake dominates the numbers. Kendrick he dominates the moments. Like he has the moments and all that stuff. But Cole, he's like the middle ground. You get what I'm saying? He's like, he has the bars, he has the heart. This is one moment, he had a moment of he just fell back. You know, the boy is durable. He's most consistent of all the guys. We can sit there and complain about them taking their time to drop albums on us, but he's the most consistent. But I have the most respect for this cat, man. And so I think he's in it clearly right now. Kendrick's number one, and Cole's too. Because and first of all, he's automatically number two because y'all say that Drake is not hip hop. Let's not even get into that minutia. And we know who talks that stuff. So that's it.
But listen, hey Lex, I told Trap it might have been yesterday or the day before yesterday. What Cole messed up at, bro, was he was called himself speaking for the youngins, the street youngins nowadays, right? But that's not the people that even listen to him. He was trying to speak for them or come at an angle that he thought they would probably respect when his fans are the internet fans. And that mixture of what he tried to pull off didn't work. I think that was his mistake. You tried to speak like saying that Kendrick's albums was this, that, or like the street guys that's young, they don't listen to Kendrick like that. And you kind of came for that angle, but your fans are the internet people. And they were tapped in and waiting for you to speak from, their perspective or what they will be relatable to. I think that's where he messed up at, to be honest with you. That's why he didn't get a good reception with that record.
I actually want to relate this to what we just said about Fat Joe. Not that J. Cole's of the same ilk, because I believe from what I've heard that Fat Joe is a street dude. But it's like we were just saying about Fat Joe. It's like, oh, everybody's laughing at you now. And it's like, all right, nigga. Like, he knows who he is. And it's like, let them laugh. That's not affecting my bottom line. In fact, it might help it. I know who I am. If they want to laugh, if they like that image of me, let them laugh. Like, I don't like when people are like, well, people see him as this, people see him as that. Is the album great or not? Are people devoted to him or not? Is he doing good in his community and good by his people? Is he affecting positive? Is he having a positive effect on the world around him? They're all this, nigga see you as soft now, not as a real lyricist. Okay, nigga. What the fuck do I care about? I don't think it's like make it not the be all end all. Niggas don't see you as a real lyricist no more. Okay. All right.
I don't think. Make sure you hold your mic up when you talk, PG.
Yeah, hold your mic up when you talk, PG.
I don't think it's about him backing out of the battle. I think it's the Port Antonio and the arrogance at the end of the battle about what you would have did. So I think it's disingenuous for y'all to keep acting like we really had an issue with J. Cole doing the most J. Cole thing in the battle, which is finding some way to blame everybody else for getting into it and blaming somebody else for getting out of it, right? But the truth is, it's the Port Antonio that comes after where it's this kind of tough rhetoric. versus a real pure idea of why you didn't want to do it. Not you would have killed somebody else, but you could have died yourself. And I think that's where people are struggling. And even the people that can't articulate it, that's what they're saying. And so the rhetoric of, oh, you know what, he's a real man and his family and all this.
You can articulate it for him.
Huh?
You can articulate it for him.
No, I'm saying because I think when J. Cole backed out of the battle, we all agreed that was the most J. Cole thing J. Cole could have did. Outside of the fact he blamed everybody for why he got into it, and then blamed somebody else for why he got out of it. But also it's the Port Antonio later where it's like, oh man, well, you know, what I would have did and this, that, hey, homeboy, you had an opportunity for us to see what you could have did. You can't, it's like what happened with 21. Like if you gonna be on the shit you on, if it's F the streets, and then somebody say, well, what makes this person street in the first place? Why are you getting mad? Why are you poking out your chest? What are you standing on? You said it, and now people calling your bluff on it. That should be your space to get out of it. But when you start responding, talking about you're gonna slap people, you're gonna do all of this, nobody's scared of nobody in this street life. Like, I don't know where you got kind of the rhetoric where, you know, you talking to some nigga from Brooklyn or New York or one of them cities. Them niggas is not, you can't do what you're doing and then think you're gonna breathe fear in people. So it's like, stand on what you stand on. J. Cole don't need none of y'all to coddle him. He did the shit himself.
No, I think that's a really good point that you made, and I actually do like the Port Antonio record, regardless of some of the stuff that he said in that. I thought it was a really dope record, but J. Cole has never struck me as someone that stands 10 toes down on anything that he does. He's like a fair weather nigga. Like he puts his finger in the air, sees which way the wind is blowing, then he goes that direction. And we saw that when he did the back and forth with No Name. I think No Name brought the white man out of him. The same way how Kendrick brought the white man out of Drake, No Name brought the white man out of J. Cole. And I think a lot of people skip past it because No Name operates on a smaller level in hip hop. She's not a major artist. So a lot of people were able to skip past, but she bodied Homeboy, and she bodied him in 16 bars. She didn't need 3-4 songs to do it. She intellectually undressed him on that record that she made. But I think that also what Glasses said about the 21 Savage thing, the thing that makes his Fuck the Streets thing seem so disingenuous is the moment he was challenged on Fuck the Streets, he immediately turned to street-like tactics to solve it. Now he wants to slap the shit out of somebody. And it's like, if it's Fuck the Streets, shouldn't you want to have a conversation with this man that disagrees with you? Let me explain to you why I'm saying fuck the streets. Maybe we can come to some middle ground. And that's the problem I have with it, because I know it's fucking fake. Because if you really saying fuck the streets and a black man disagrees with you, let me talk to you, black man. Okay, I understand you disrespecting me, but let's have a conversation as men and let me explain to you where I'm coming from with it and see if we can find a common ground. But if you want to fight somebody the moment they disagree with what you're saying, why are you saying fuck the streets? It sounds like you want to live in that same street mentality whenever it's able to benefit you. And I don't think he has the words to articulate how he truly feels. If you really feel a way about anything in this world, if you can't articulate why you feel what you feel, how you came to those conclusions, as a man, I don't believe you. I don't believe that's how you really feel.
And it's like, I didn't really hear the disrespectful thing he said about him.
Who you talking about? You talking about Fabio? Fabio did though. He did. I seen the clip. You seen the
conversation. What did he say specifically that you felt was a lack of admiration? He said why do you think he's a street dude?
All right, there you go. Yeah.
Questions credibility.
Yeah.
I questioned.
Yeah.
There's something, I don't know. For me, I object a little bit with what Trill said because I don't like this idea that the moment we're flawed, the moment we contradict ourselves, the moment we're conflicted or conflicting, that it's all of a sudden it's not blackness anymore. I think our humanity is much greater than that. I think the niggas just was in a tough spot, and some of the shit he did to deal with that tough spot was fuck shit. Some of the shit he did to deal with that was honorable. It's not the greatest. It's I don't know. I feel like some of that shit is some of the shit I would have did. I feel like if the pressure was enough,
you do in the street life, that's fuck shit.
If the pressure was enough,
how are you
gonna make a misstep and then go, oof, I don't know if I did that right. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of pressure to carry, and I don't know I feel like there's few who would have handled it perfectly. I don't really like the way Kendrick or Drake handled it. I don't like the way a lot of them niggas
Tell us why. Tell us why.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna ask you. What do you mean you don't like the way that Kendrick or Drake handled it? What you mean by that?
Are we as far as the whole battle to go?
You're just saying the battle. The fact. No. You don't got to keep it short though. Are you saying basically just the fact that they battled? You got in the mud. You saying
there's a lot of issues I have. One of the biggest things is the battle was the behavior Kendrick displayed in that battle was a lot of the things he made Mr. Morale about that he's trying to exercise from himself. You know what I mean? A lot of ego, a lot of acting off of your pride and not giving a fuck about the consequences. You know what I mean? Whether that's to do with his romantic relationships and sex life, or just how he's handling aggression and conflict. You know what I mean? And that's not, and he's human. He's a human being. But like he devoted a whole year to that and like really affected the culture in positive and negative ways just based off of his ego. I'm not even.
What was the negative ways?
What's that?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Bro, I personally feel like right now, I know we played it, we joking, but right now we just had we was just in the midst of some like ADOS, FBA, like back and forth. Niggas was joking, right? But like that shit is a real conversation in the culture.
That has nothing to do with him.
It may not have anything to do with him, but I think it has a lot to do with the battle and the dynamics of the battle.
I think a lot of the battle was based off of Drake being. Is that what you're saying it as?
They didn't speak to that though, PG. I feel you.
I understand what you're saying. That might be true.
They
may not have
Shatiff,
but that isn't the effect of the battle. The effect of the battle is it woke a lot of that shit up. Whether they meant to do that or not, they may not have meant it at all, but they woke a lot of that shit up.
Well,
no, that's not
what Glasses. What he's saying is that wakes up when you say he's no longer the culture for most people. That's what that wakes
up. It wasn't no longer the culture. He
never. You're not being a part, or you're not really the.
I know that's not what Kendrick was saying, Glasses.
No. I agree. I
know that's not what Kendrick was saying, but that's not necessarily how people.
He didn't actually. He never
ran with it a lot of different directions.
Yeah, but that wasn't his sentiment. That was something that was already a stated idea. So. To me, and it's not just because he's my homeboy, but genuinely, I think he didn't do anything wrong over this last year. I think he carried the burden of this thing on his shoulders and decided to represent it. Now, how somebody uses these things, it's like the Bible, right? The Bible was meant to bring people together. But the Bible could also can be used, like when Constantine orchestrated the Bible, right? He brought all of those popes and reverends and preachers together. He just wanted to unite Rome, right? That was the goal. Rome was tearing itself apart. He wanted to unite Rome. And he created this idea. He had these people create this idea that everybody could align with. And then, right, a couple thousand years later, right, or 1,000+ years later, somebody uses that book to enslave people.
Yep.
So you know what I'm saying? So you can't blame it on the tool, right? Like food was meant to nourish. Now food is being used to poison.
Yeah, but we're talking about a war.
But wars are fought. Wars are fought for right reasons.
Who's the war between though, PG?
Yeah.
Between Drake and Kendrick.
So there was no war on Drake's side and people's on Kendrick's side. Is that what you're saying?
I think PG speaking to the understanding that people are gaining from certain sentiments that were put out there, and like that's to what Glass is saying. Just like they put that Bible together, how many denominations came out of that based upon the understanding that you wanted to gain out of what somebody else put out there.
But we also like to frame it as though Kendrick was only fighting a righteous war, and maybe some people see it as that. But the whole Mr. Morale album was the nigga acknowledging something that I always seen in him, and I super respect Kendrick. I think he's one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest. But the nigga does characterize himself as a wrathful, vengeful nigga. He characterizes himself. He
was just being a Compton nigga. You know what? I just had an epiphany. I see what Glasses is saying now when he says GNX is his favorite album, because we've pigeonholed Kendrick into like this caricature where it's like, it's about blackness, it's about empowerment, it's about the community, that anytime he kind of showcases any bits and pieces of his personality, people are like, that's not who you are. We don't know you for that. And it's like, why can't there just be something that is authentic to him? Why can't it just be the fact that somebody says something? He decided, I'm gonna cook this nigga. as opposed to I want to make it about it being righteous. I mean, it could be, but the message could also be this is about righteousness, and this is also about
it was a
cooking
righteous
the
kill.
shit out. Yeah, I'm gonna cook your ass righteously. This is what I stand for.
You're contradicting yourself though, because one, I'm not saying he was inauthentic in any way. I don't believe he was
right. But I'm just saying, like, as far as how people
he's a paradoxical. He has conflict like any other human being. He really is a child of Pac. He really is a nigga that's like, on one hand he's righteous, and on the other hand he might have been doing some. I don't want to say some fuck shit because that feels disrespectful, but some shit that was not his highest moral standing, and I think that's okay. But I'm not gonna say canonize him because he could be a saint, but saints can be flawed. You know what I mean? But it's just like that battle was not, to me, the best parts of Kendrick. I don't think that was him displaying the best parts of his personality.
Part of Kendrick.
We got everything otherwise to showcase that it was. To be completely honest,
I think the rest of it is optimism. PG. Like, I feel like how people use it, right? Again, like, even in this conversation, how people take it and interpret, you can't generally help how people are going to use something, right? Like, things are created for what they created for, right? It's like, here's a conflict with somebody that I disagree with, how they're dealing with me, how they're dealing with society. Let me check you on that. Let me show you out of line, right? And then we're going to debate. We're going to kind of like, we're going to bring up our opinions so everybody could have, their own perspective. And my opinions reign supreme to yours, right? So it's not truly a war. And even FBA or ADO, they're not talking about this in this battle. That's how people take messages and use them for their own things, because none of them said that specifically. So it's like, and I guess, like I said, it's like, even in this battle, even with J. Cole, going back to J. Cole, because that's what we started with in this conversation, J. Cole's problem is not him apologizing, right? That's not the problem that the average person can't articulate the issue with J. Cole. The issue is it's the falseness that it looks like after you make a great record, right? Like Port Antonio, where you start talking about what you would have did, right? It's the push off of accountability of you jumping out on your friend saying, hey, you know what? I didn't like how this made me feel in this battle. And instead of calling you, right, and say, hey, or waiting until I get in touch with you, I'm going to call you. But if me and you don't talk, right, I'm going to disrespect you. I'm going to publicly disrespect you because I need to cover my pride and ego. And that's fine. But it's just that these are not the things that's being said, right? It's like, no, everybody else started putting pressure on me. No. You couldn't, PG, I don't care what Kendrick said in the song. There's a song where Game said, and Glasses Malone is not signed to Black Wall Street. I don't know if you remember hearing it. It was a while ago. And what he was saying that because at the time, Face was trying to do a deal. And he was saying, I was signed to Black Wall Street to position the deal better, which at that time I was affiliated with Black Wall Street. But at that time, we already knew I wasn't going to do business with Game. So Black Wall Street, as far as under Game, that was not a thing, null and void, because when it was time, I didn't do it, right? So he said that. And the general public was like, oh, Glasses, he dish you. I don't give a fuck what nobody said, PG. That's how much that man that did in my life, to where I said, I didn't even have to call him because I heard what he said and I knew what the temperament was. I didn't run to the studio and be like, let me take advantage of this moment. Fuck you. There were things that Game did that messed with me, right? When he bought everybody a chain at Black Wall Street, not to get one. I'm a man, so I can't be crying about it, but you can start to not feel involved in a part. But there was nothing inside of my mind that maybe said, let me run to the studio and start to demean this man who gave me an opportunity or who I consider a friend. That's the difference. And that's what we should be looking for in our hip hop artists. Now, I know Teeth, that's Cole, he loved Cole. And I know it might seem like I'm hard on him at times. I'm not. I'm not demanding anything that I wouldn't demand from any of us. The same accountability when we make a fucking fool out of ourselves. And that should have been. And right in the initial apology, it was fine. But even then, it reeked of lack of accountability. oh, you know what? The public in my ear, my homies in my ears, like, what you gonna do? Niggas was in my ear saying what I'm gonna do.
Can I ask you a question real quick before you go on?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Why would you compare your situation with cats that you really rock with, their home team, to J. Cole?
And they rocked with each other though, bro.
He said they was friends. They got a whole
Do
album.
you have? Oh, wait. You think? Okay, so maybe I don't understand the
I mean,
level.
I had people that told me. I didn't
think they were that close. I didn't think that. I thought they were industry. Hold on. I thought they were industry friends.
Me and Game, they grew up together.
Okay, so go ahead, Trap. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
I know. Somebody told me that they was actually together with each other 4 days before Like That came out. You know what I'm saying? Was in the studio recording shit like that 4 days before Like That came out. So they was kicking it. They was cool. Like they was cool. He was cool with he was cool with the whole TDE Foundation. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like
he was cool with them.
I don't like that. To go back to your original point, I don't like that idea of that big three. Like, we talking about some shit that's been set in motion since basically 2009, 2010. Like, those niggas have been going
we gotta retire that shit.
Those niggas have been
big
going.
Three?
Yeah, those niggas have been
Why
moving into those positions since that time.
I'm explaining that.
And they've held those positions all that time. And throughout, I mean, the big three was really solidified around that battle. But those have been the three for basically that entire time. There've been small waivers, but it's never been anybody in front of Drake, Kendrick, or Cole since 2009.
Yeah, but I want to go back into what Steve was just saying about retiring the big three. Why you feel like we should retire the big three?
I mean, it wasn't a real concept to begin with. Like only one person out of them three, try to have us acknowledge that it was three niggas we should only care about. Like at this point, we 16 years in. These niggas are in their 40s. We still talking about big three in 2026. Like
I think that just changes. I think that just shows that if it was them three for the past 10 years, that just shows that we wasn't really giving too many other people to choose from then. Because I tell this with Glasses all the time. Though I feel like it's always been like that, but he disagrees with it when I say this though. But I feel like it's been like that since we had Kane, Rakim, and KRS-One. You know what I'm saying? Then it went on further. Then we ended up seeing people like
Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas.
Snoop will get thrown up in there sometimes.
You saying that?
I don't agree with that.
You understand kind of what ridiculousness that would have to sound like when you saying that to me?
But how does it sound like ridiculousness though?
Jay-Z wasn't in the picture, man. That was Tupac, Biggie, and Nas.
Jay-Z is but the thing was we talking about it. If we talking about it, see you constantly think we talking about it in the reference of.
I'm with you.
Hold on. You constantly think we talking about it in the reference of the top rappers of the game. No, we're talking about it in the reference of who was the best rhyme spitters.
You keep saying that.
I mean, I'm not.
That's the way it go though.
Hold on, PG.
No, I don't.
Let me tell you something, Trap.
That's the way it go.
I'm confused with what happened when Snoop came out and how much he was respected as MC, and that's what I don't like about this. This is why nobody likes talking to you.
Was he respect? Like talking about what? What you saying?
This is why niggas don't like talking to New York niggas sometimes. Like your concept of the big three is rooted in your approval of what you think MCs.
I said Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, and I was just throwing three names out.
The three best MCs was Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. You thought that. Y'all thought that.
And Jay-Z thought that.
It could have been any three people.
Jay-Z thought that.
I don't want you to get hung up on three. It's just the fact that it's always some kind of trifecta. I don't want you to get hung up.
I don't know when the fuck was it.
Exactly.
I never heard that shit until
never in my life.
You never heard it since when though, Steve?
I haven't heard it till Cole and them.
I heard it ever since. Rakim and KRS-One. They been saying that.
So the 80s, 90s, 2000s, you heard three niggas names get brought up.
88.
Right after LL
I'm gonna tell you what, it was never to do upon who was the best rappers though, B.
So I didn't have at least 5-6 niggas.
Who was the best spitters?
I don't know about that, Trap. I think it's about who's the face of the culture.
Hold on, PG. You keep saying that. You understand how much you disrespecting the Queens? Like, bro.
Queens who? Like LL Cool J?
Do you know why LL wasn't put in that glasses?
LL Cool J was not a a qualified like the
Why wasn't it? Why wasn't it? Why wasn't it, Shatiff?
That Walking with the Panther album. That Walking with the Panther album. That's why he
Walking
wasn't
with
in
the Panther
that.
that come out in '88.
No, what I'm saying,
that was like way later.
That's 89, right?
You're missing the point of what I'm saying.
So Lex, when this was going on, why wasn't they mentioning LL? What they was mentioning those three like
that album was considered a fucking fall off from LL. I don't know whether y'all know that.
So his name wasn't getting brought up at all at a certain period.
No, he was already top dog, y'all. I'm not saying that LL
already had a full arc already.
Hold on.
Guys are coming up.
Let me say this right. He was already solidified in a certain spot, but when he dropped that album, bro, like his name, like the cachet kind of dropped, and these were the new dudes that emerged that people were giving a lot of credence to.
Chief, listen to what I'm saying, bro. Let me tell you how much bullshit is in what y'all be saying, bro. He's coming off Bigger and Deffer. That changes the dynamics of hip hop. Right, Bigger and Deffer is in '87. That's third, fourth quarter, '87. How the fuck you talking about '88? There's a nigga that's even fucking with him. He's lyrically as good as it could be. He's nice. He got the biggest records. He probably is he's by far the first superstar as a solo act, right? I mean, it's fair to say Curtis was a rap star, but LL is the first superstar, right? He became the first sex signal sex symbol. He's kicking the shit out of fucking.
That's what you keep on thinking. It's about success within that, though.
I'm expanding I'm expanding on your simple concept. Not only is he a dynamic MC where he's dope lyrically and he's a dope spitter, he's kicking the shit out of Mo D in this time. He's kicking the shit out of Mo D.
You talking about 88?
87, 88. When you think this was happening?
No, they wasn't. It wasn't on the level of what people was looking at Rakim and Kane, B. He was the first superstar, bro.
Hold on. LL, I can be corrected, but I know glasses can't correct me. I'm gonna say that. What I'm saying is this: LL represented the old regime. You know what I mean? Run DMC, the man Tila Rock, all the older cats, right? Even though he was the young kid, he represented the older cats. KRS One, and also he was still mentioned. You would say KRS One, you would say Gucci Rap, you would say Big Daddy Kane, you would say, don't forget LL. They was always saying LL, so he was always around fifth. He was already around fifth or sixth. Always.
So when did LL's first album come out?
85.
And Rakim, bro.
So KRS was 86.
But to Lex's point, LL was an old head at that time, for real.
He's
because
younger than
no, we're not talking about his age.
You don't understand.
Though.
Come on,
we're talking about his age in hip hop years. LL's first single comes out in '84.
Yeah,
so he's already an older, as far as an elder statesman in hip hop. Because at that time, we got to think. Niggas wasn't making it to third, fourth, and fifth albums at that time. So LL being on his third album, Rakim being off of his first album, Kane being off his first album, Slick Rick being off his first album, BDP being off their second album. You know what I mean? They were newer artists. Like Run was never part of no big three. Because Run was looked at as an elder statesman. Like LL was an elder statesman in hip hop.
Second album.
Glasses,
say again. Say that.
Not being fair, Glasses, because LL's movement starts way before those niggas even get going. He's already, even if he's on his second album, he's a massive superstar. He's already got a full arc already going before those guys even get started. And they represent. LL was not rhyming like Rakim, and what Rakim brought was people were like, "Whoa, you can rap like this!" Like Rakim ran the 4-minute mile. And before LL did, nobody's looking at LL and going and ever comparing his rhyme style to Rakim. That's what Rakim did.
That this big three is some New York shit, and I'm okay.
Yo, Shot. Is it wrong to say that from afar, if you squint your eyes and you turn your head to the right or left, or and then put one foot up in the air, that LL could be perceived as the fourth member of Run DMC, and it was the others, it was like Run DMC. Even the Fat Boys had affiliation with Run DMC.
It's the whole Crush Groove. The whole Crush Groove.
Yes.
Yes.
And the rest of it was the others.
After that was something was another phase or another level of it.
LL's Crush Groove. Rakim is Juice.
Right. I'm with you, PG. And so that's what I'm saying to you, Glasses.
Wait, say that again. Say it one more time.
LL is Crush Groove. Rakim is Juice.
Yeah, that's perfect. Damn, Shatiff, I'm sorry.
No. What I'm saying to Glasses is when these guys are budding and this 3 thing is starting to come about is around that time where Walking with the Panther came out. And that's what I'm telling you. When that album dropped, it was not well received, bro.
Ass.
What are y'all talking about, bro?
You better tap in, champ, because I'm telling you.
The first albums all came out. LL's Cool J second album came out in '87. Rakim's album came out at the same time. Chris' album came out. But I'll let y'all get this off. Whatever makes y'all feel better.
Yeah, but he was still an elder statesman. He had a single in 1984.
Exactly. You based it off albums.
He had I Need a Beat dropped in 1984. 1984 to 1987 hip hop is a totally different game. It's not the same game.
It's not an album genre yet by then. We're
no, you're looking at 85, but it's 84, 83 when this shit is really kind of like button.
He has a half of a song.
But 3 years in hip hop is a full generation because 88 ain't like 91. 91 not like 94.
Whatever make y'all sleep better is fine with me.
Nah, but 3 years is a full generation of hip hop. 1998 is nothing like 2001. 2001 is nothing like 2004. 2004 is nothing like 2007. 2007 is nothing like 2010. 3 years in hip hop is a full generation,
especially at the very beginning.
Reach its pinnacle into the 90s.
Who?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this thing, right? I'm gonna tell you this though. So there wasn't no big 3 in 1991 because you know why? Because the top of the game right then was somebody named Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? He was doing his thing right there.
You wouldn't say big 3 because it's not New York's opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't at that time.
But that's what I'm saying. To Glass's point, that conversation is for the East Coast or New York niggas, bro. That conversation.
It probably was.
They probably never had that dumbass conversation.
Yeah, that conversation.
It always was that conversation, bro.
Music for us to think about that.
And I think it puts a ceiling on hip hop when we just big 3 is like, nigga, it's a lot of other people, even during this quote unquote big 3 era, that made amazing music. Tyler the Creator made amazing music during this era. Motherfucking Earl Sweatshirt made amazing music during this era. Dom Kennedy, Wiz Khalifa, Saba. You know I'm gonna throw Saba.
J. Cole is not about fairness. It's about how.
This is what I'm talking. Like we. This basically spilled over into other aspects like sports. I'm starting hearing niggas Duke, Steph Curry and LeBron and these big 3 in sports, all this dumb shit, man. Like, bro,
well, the idea of a big 3 is just, I think it's just a remedial way of thinking. It's like, okay, I can only pay attention to these 3 guys and I get a pulse of what's going on. And I don't think, even if you pay attention to just Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick, I don't think you get a true pulse of what's going on, not even in their cities or in hip hop as a whole. And I don't think there's ever been a time in hip hop where you could just grab 3 guys and be like, you know what? I have the pulse of this culture because I'm in tune with these 3 guys.
Maybe Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas give you the pulse of New York street urban culture.
But their primes don't overlap. Like Biggie is, by the time Jay-Z's approaching his prime, Biggie's already dead.
But keep in mind that statement of Biggie, Jay-Z,
Glasses is so offended. He's so offended.
That was Jay-Z shooing himself in that conversation.
That's Jay-Z placing himself in the conversation.
Imagine I'm telling you the big 3 is Tupac, Cube, and Snoop.
Shit, in 95, 96, you might have had a point in 96.
What if I just said period?
We know we know y'all don't have the skill set to even. That's not true.
Yeah, I said their skill set, but their skill set wasn't like Nas. Like you gonna just skip over Nas and put it.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I'll stop.
Look at it towards the skill set.
This is why I keep telling you. We know how y'all feel.
What did he say? Who's the big 3? He said
Snoop, Pac, and Ice Cube.
Snoop, Pac, and Cube.
In a hypothetical, Lex. But here's the thing. I feel like certain things
this is why it's so hard for me.
What is Lex
doing? Ice Cube and who? Tupac. Against the top 3 from New York. We don't even have to go to the 90s. What?
Because he's talking about strictly song making. He want to talk about song making right now.
Because I know you don't want to talk about.
That's what you're referencing that towards. You can't reference it towards. If you put all three, if you put them three in the booth and you go listen, just go freestyle. Give me your toughest 32
Is that what they do for a living?
I don't.
No. And then, but that's what I'm trying to tell you that it was never referenced. It was never referenced towards who makes the best songs. It was referenced towards who raps the best.
Y'all can't glasses. You cannot adjust. You cannot adjust this fucking goddamn scale that was set from the top. This is about the rapping skills, bro. Song making and stardom. This is not. That is not. Listen, that is not part of the matrix of the culture.
That's all it was.
I disagree with how y'all see the culture, and I think the world disagrees, and that's why y'all get your ass kicked all the time.
So Trap. Don't be Trap. Hold on, Trap. This is why I say y'all should have been more stern about the inclusiveness with the culture. Because I feel like if niggas would have took go and bammed it out or did whatever they want to do, it'd have been a whole lot of motherfucking bodies everywhere, bro.
I think we're simplifying. I think we're simplifying the metric. I'm going to make an analogy. I don't think nobody planned. Walk with me for a second. I don't think nobody planned for Spider-Man to be the face of Marvel Comics. It's just how it shook out. He just ended up being the forerunner, and it wasn't because he was the most powerful superhero. It might have been because he was selling the most comics, but that might not even have been true all the time. I think it's just the way it shakes out. Just like in the later era of Marvel, when it's in the MCU era, it becomes Iron Man becomes the face of it. Not because he's the best. He was a C-level comic, but Marvel did not own the rights to Spider-Man or X-Men at that time. It was just the circumstances and the way life shook out. It just ended up that this dude was it's just how everything settled once you made everything settle. I think that's how it ends up with the big three. I don't think it reflects just the best lyricist, just the best songmaker, just who's hottest, just who's selling. I think it shakes out to who ends up being the face of this, and it's kind of, there's intangibles that you can't even, it's like, why is Leo DiCaprio considered the face of Hollywood? I don't really know. Or Robert Downey in his time. You don't really know. It's just kind of how it shook out.
You know why?
Yeah.
You know what's the verification of that? How good their movies do.
Okay. Leo is not always the box office number one.
It's not based. It's not about. Not every time. Hold on. Let me ask.
Only in this specific thing.
It's not about. It's not about their actual. How should I say? It's not about their performance. It's not about how they actually perform in that film, or is it about just what the results of that film is?
I think I think it has to do with how they're being, how the light is hitting them in the culture.
Or is it both? Is it both?
I think it's a lot of factors that some of them are intangible, some of them are very tangible. I think some of them are hard to.
So Eminem's the greatest. Why are we doing this podcast? Eminem's the greatest of all time.
You're talking just about
what metric?
Ironically, he's never been a part of the big three.
Yeah, he's never been in that car.
What about Only Dudes Movie Units and Pimp Juice and Us?
Thank you, Trill. Thank you, Trill.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Before I can say it, Trill, thank you, sir.
What I'm saying. Some people
again, was that the big
why
three?
Was LL outside of the big three?
I think so.
According to you. According to you.
Yeah, according to that metric you on.
It can't be according to me because I don't believe in the big three. That shit just sounds stupid as fuck.
Of course, the West Coast dude wouldn't believe in it.
I think if it's capturing the
Why would
public
I believe in it?
imagination,
I mean,
it can't be
it
for
was
no reason.
spanking ass for years.
I think there's something to
The world
it.
thought we was better.
Ain't shit to that, man. We're in 2026.
For about 18
Wait, when was that? When was that?
For about 18 months.
Every last 4 years.
Well, that was in 92, 92?
A long time ago.
About 18 months, right? You know what came out in 93?
Chronic and
36 Chambers and
Doggy Style. Okay.
You know what came out
in Midnight Marauders.
When Dog Food came out.
Regulate.
Why you skip 93? Why you skip 93 for?
Juicy. I just told you it came out in 93.
He started in 93.
Okay, the 93. Okay, cool.
But again, I think it's really
and you shut up just right. And right there, what happened in 95?
95, 96, 97.
Why?
Because it just keep going.
Y'all run ended when Bill Clinton was still the president in his first term.
I don't want to really do this. I don't want to really do this.
Brother, with this East-West bullshit, man.
That's why I had to bring it back to 5.
I want to do it.
I don't want to do that. 2005.
Period to somebody lyrically. I keep telling you.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
You're a competitive dude.
We're not doing this over J. Cole.
The West Coast is just confrontational. They like problems,
we
man.
We need all the other regions. Like this shit ain't complete without all the other regions.
We ain't need nobody. We would have been quite all right if everything stayed in New York. Hip hop would have been quite all right, man.
Why are you doing
this?
It would have died in the 90s if it stayed in New York.
Yes, we would have.
The problem is New Yorkers aren't really that open-minded.
I agree with you, bro.
Once that shit went down to the South, that shit got ruined. It was over with.
I see why you do that.
I was saying it was ruined. It came to the West. I said the labels is the reason it came to the West. It was a trick to say
this. Shout out to my man. What's my man name who put the new clip out?
Read My Soul. Check that out on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Read My Soul. Talked about the South.
Read My Soul. Put out a great. He put out a great.
So I wasn't able. Glasses. Trill. Trap. Yeah, I wasn't able to kind of like.
Oh, the J. Cole.
No. On this guy y'all talking about.
The Reed video.
Yeah, I know. I didn't see it. What was that? Give me the rundown on that. What was that kind of like about?
I think PG wants to say something on the last subject, and then we can get into the
video. Yeah, we go to that one. Good.
PG, what was that you want to say?
Oh, fuck, I don't even remember it now. I was just saying.
My bad, PG.
I feel. No, it's okay. I want to go to this point that you were talking about. I personally don't. I don't love that. I don't love that pitting. I know it's our competitive nature, and we think. I mean, to me, this just reminds me of the battle. We do it. I think against our own, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you vote against yourself, against
your own detriment.
Yeah, to your own detriment. We do that shit to our own. We know how much we need each other, but we still want to be like, nah, fuck you, I'm better.
Oh, no, right. We know how much we need New York. The problem is it's the exact opposite, which is why everybody kind of has that unanimous feel. And nobody really minds because when it comes down to it, everybody gonna do what they supposed to do. But I keep telling Trapper every week he keep making up this big three shit that don't make no sense.
Yeah, retire that dumb shit, man.
Nah, but to Glass's point too, the sentiment has changed on New York, and I think us as New Yorkers, we understand that. There used to be a time when we were revered just for being from New York, like it was a cool thing. Now niggas like fuck New York. New York is the wackest city. New York niggas is cornballs. Like I don't know if it's the internet or if it's just times people have actually come to New York and actually
they still want to come here.
New Yorkers, we do not get the same level of reverence that we got in the 90s. And to PG's point, I feel like hip hop needed every region. Like I feel like every rapper is important, whether they're dope or whack. Every voice is important in hip hop. And I think what the West Coast added to hip hop made New York better for a time. And I think what the South added to hip hop made New York better for a time. And what the Midwest added to hip hop made New York better for a time. I think the reason why, and to Reed's video, I don't think the South destroyed hip hop at all. I'm not blaming them. I think New York stopped being good. And I think when New York stops being good, we think all of hip hop is bad because we can't be top. It's like the kid. When a kid is losing the game, they want to take their ball and they want to go home. And New York always does that with hip hop. The moment we become in second, third, fourth, or even fifth place, we want to take our ball and we want to go home. We don't want to cheer on who else is doing good. But when we was doing good, everybody cheered us on. Everybody wanted this for New York.
Ironically,
Trill, you know this from? Where you getting this from?
Trap, they did Trap until they tried to do it and they wasn't doing it as well.
Yeah, I got you, Star. I got
Clickety clank. That's what happened in New York.
You know the Timbaland story? The Timbaland story is Hov stopped fucking with Timbaland, I believe. It was before Magna Carta. I forget what record it was. He stopped fucking with Timbaland. He said when they would lock in, they could never get more than 1 or 2 records done. They could only do a single, and then even though obviously Hov had so much chemistry with Timbo, but Timbo being from the South, ironically, the issue that he was having is every time he would work with Hov, he would get possessive, and he would go, "Oh, this song is great. Why don't you do the whole album with me? Why you going to this nigga? Well, you need Just Blaze for. You don't need that nigga. Just work with me. I'm the best." And he would keep doing that and spaz out every time Hov would try to work with him, and because Hov would also be working with other people, he would freak out, and Hov would be like, "I can't work with you because you spaz out every time we work, saying I should do everything with you." And so Timbaland finally got over that and over himself, and that's how they were able to lock in, and he was able to do half of Magna Carta because he finally got over that chip on his shoulder of, oh, I feel offended or I feel threatened if the artist not working for anybody else.
I didn't know that. Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Timbaland talked about that. And Hov talked about it.
Shit was ass. He should have
But
never did that.
I don't think Timbaland and Jay-Z would make for an entire album. I feel like certain artist sounds. I think Jay-Z knew his bread and butter. I think that's one of the good things about Jay-Z. I think when you separate a great rapper from just a really good rapper, it's the ability to know a good idea from a not so good idea. And I think Jay-Z, of all rappers ever, I think Jay-Z has probably been the best at knowing a good idea from a not so good idea.
I don't want us to lose the thread though. It's not that Timbaland and Hov should have did a whole album together. It's that they could have locked in for more songs, but because Timbaland became jealous and possessive and not able to accept that Hov wants to work with a lot of people, because he couldn't accept that Hov wants to work with other people, he lost the ability to work with Hov at all.
Okay.
You know what's funny though? It's funny is I give a lot of credit to Jay-Z because he didn't have his own sound initially. It took him probably till 5 years into his career to figure out his own thing. But he was able to manufacture a career even through all of those odds.
Does Jay-Z have a sound?
Which album you said it was?
Blueprint.
Blueprint, yeah. I think Blueprint is when he found a sound that worked perfect for what he was doing. But I don't think Jay-Z ever really had a sound.
All right, well, you saying sound
becomes Rock Nation sound.
All right, well, you saying sound because all that was the they just did what they did on Reasonable Doubt over and made it a little bit more and shined it up a little bit more. Those were all soulful chops on Reasonable Doubt from the jump. But now his sound wise, he might not have the sound wise, but the image, the rapper / CEO Cordell Stewart, I'm saying nobody else came in the game talking that boss talk like that before him like that.
Stewart.
Nobody.
No, I'm saying nobody did that.
So Ice-T didn't come in talking that boss talk?
No, not the rapper / CEO.
Not Easy. You right.
No, but Easy
it's life for me, bro. For the life
look at it upon.
I do not know how we exist.
All right, so it was Master P. You mentioned the Master P too, right? Master P and all that too, right?
Glass is the first man in New York.
European of hip hop.
Bro.
Y'all like European.
When that man came in the game.
Y'all like European.
Already been.
That man came.
Listen, y'all know we can't hear y'all, right? Y'all just talking. Y'all both just talking. Can we bring it back, y'all?
I completely give up. I will never get the bigotry out your fucking heart. I promised myself, I said I was gonna make it my business to get the bigotry out of your heart. It's impossible. Y'all are really white.
Well, I mean,
did you just call us white people? Did you just call us white people?
I'm a real hip hop dude, B.
Nah, but Glasses Trap has to hold on to it because New York hip hop will never be great again. So Trap has to hold on to this idea that New York is going to rise again.
I'm a real hip hop
you could point to everything that's going on in New York. When was the last great point guard to come out of New York? It's been a very long time. Like all the things New York used to dominate at, we don't dominate at anymore, and we're never going to dominate at those things ever again. New York is getting less black. New York is getting less black. Everything New York is not inventing. Nigga, Harlem was a hub for black culture at a time. Bed-Stuy was a hub for black culture at a time. Those places are no longer hubs for black culture. We don't have the conditions to create great rappers anymore.
Even if that's true, to kick ass for 28 or 30 fucking years. That's how long New York reigned over its product.
Yep.
Even when everybody else was just arriving, because y'all swear to God the West Coast took over in the 90s, but that don't make sense. Niggas just showed up finally.
This whole poor, we not giving y'all enough props for what y'all did. We ain't gotta do that. Y'all gotta know what y'all did.
Let me oppress.
You being real stubborn and bitter.
Let me oppress the niggas. Go on, oppress the slave master.
Finish.
To Trill's point, I want to say the point because you were saying that we'll never.
Ain't no point that he just had right there, B. That shit was all bullshit, B.
The point that
we could do what we did. We could talk what we talk.
But Trap, you're missing the point, which is you hold on to the past. That means you cannot get the future.
Trap got the whip out of move mechanics.
If you hold on to what we were good at, you can never find out what we might be good at later. what we might create later, because you're like, no, we still had those things from the past and those things are still good. That's like when you get when somebody hurts you in the past and you hold on to that, you can never, or something bad happens to you in the past and you base all your future decisions on something bad that happened to you in the past, you never can move forward. That's what New York is doing. We are stuck in our past and we refuse to see what we could be.
Trip off this, PG. Since 1979, all the way to 50 Cent, even Nicki Minaj. That's a whole nother motherfucking 7-8 years. This motherfucker just went platinum the other day, like in a month or some shit. A$AP Rocky just dropped it. Bruh, you are y'all like white people, bruh. Like white people right now, and then y'all get mad when niggas complain about the oppression. Y'all want to tear down all the shit y'all did. Well, erase the fact that we was just booing niggas and fucking them up. Y'all like white. It's like how white people trying to wipe off all the slave monuments. They like, we know, don't let niggas know we did that. Them kids, let them know they own their own. That's what y'all do. And it's so ridiculous because there was never a reason to do it. Like there's never not been a time New York.
You gonna watch how you talk about New York cats.
I got
Trap. No, he's finished. He's finished.
No, let him go. Let him go.
What?
You finished, right?
Bro.
Oh, you wasn't finished yet. Sorry, go ahead.
Let him go.
I can't talk on the plantation, master. I can't talk on the plantation, master. I'll get the fuck up and pick back picking cotton, sir. We're gonna pick this cotton. Go ahead. Tell me.
All right now. Now y'all talking all this new shit, and we got to come out with new shit, bro. We laid the roots down of this pavement, this foundation of what y'all love right there. We probably ain't got to never come out with a new act or nothing like that, because y'all can't do better than our old acts done did.
Hold on,
you know what I'm saying?
Can't have it both
That's
ways.
a whole fact right there. It ain't nothing coming out better than the greatest ones that we had right there. So we ain't gotta have a whole bunch of new acts come out and all that shit right there. We passed the rock off and said, yo, let me see what y'all can cook up with it. And you know what happened when we passed it? The shit turned to shit. It turned to shit. When we had the ball, the shit wasn't being said, it was terrible. It was called the golden era.
That's
called the golden era.
We didn't pass it
to somewhere else.
Stolen.
Hold on. Let him finish. Let him finish.
I would like
Let
to
him finish. Hold on, PG. I want to say something to him. I want to say something to Glasses. All right, because he's tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? Go ahead, PG. Yeah, say what you gonna say. Say what you gonna say, PG.
Pass the ball to, Lex? When did you guys ever pass the ball?
They didn't pass the ball. Niggas took the rock. Niggas took the rock. Had to take the rock.
They stole it. Right?
I would get
we ain't had no left hand. We ain't had no left hand to the left, niggas.
I would get screamed on at ADHD for trying to make this exact point. Trap, you trying to have it both ways. Pause.
Both ways what?
Hold on. Because you're trying to say we passed it off. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
All right. All right. I might use the wrong term though. But once the ball went somewhere else, once the ball,
let him finish.
That's what I'm hearing this shit about. Hip hop is fucked up. This. When we had the ball, we didn't hear nothing about hip hop being fucked up.
Let him finish.
I wonder who was saying hip hop is fucked up.
You didn't pass the ball off because the whole time niggas was complaining and being bitter. So niggas never passed. Niggas was holding on to the ball as it was in play. Pause. So you can't say we laid the foundation down. We have nothing to be insecure about, and then behave insecurely. It's got to be one or the other.
We don't.
No,
when they cut your water off, they ain't playing your music nowhere else like that.
This is the last point I want to make.
Not good. This is
the last point I want to make. And Shatiff, you and I have had arguments about this in the past, and I understand why you couldn't see my point. I am very proud of New York. It's one of the most proud things in my life to be from New York. And the legacy that we have in hip hop, it means everything to me. I'm so proud of it. I agree with Trap. I never feel like we need to prove anything again. Anything we do in hip hop from this point on is frosting on is gravy, is extra. Because we already everyone from every region across the globe is building off of what we made. So I never feel like New York needs to do anything. If we do anything else, which I would love for us to do, that's great, but we already built it up. But I can't have it both ways. I can't accept that and then not be congratulatory and enthusiastic about the contributions of other regions. I cannot be bitter and vengeful and contempt and have contempt for quote unquote, and excuse my expression, glasses, our children. We sow these seeds around the country, and then I can't have then contempt for my children when they go out there and do great things. That is wrong.
The South,
and you're
the
right.
South was never chosen. See, we're gonna have to start really doing the science on this shit right here. The West was never chosen. All right. So once we start working with these record labels and these radio stations and figure out the programming, y'all didn't bring anything new and genuine to the culture. I'm tired of hearing you West Coast cats who stab us in the back. How you sat on us. You sat on the culture. You're the first ones.
Lex, I understand. Glasses.
You attacked our women. Hold on. You were the first ones to attack our women. You.
Yeah, you're proving PG's point, man.
You did not say any. You didn't say anything about the white man, the white. Hey, cuz the white man, the white. You attacked us first. And so then we say, you know what? Because there was shipping. You know what? I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna save it. No. I'm gonna finish this shit on Diamond District on Monday. Come check me out. Yeah.
Now, can I say something quick though? If y'all remember,
Glasses. I need you to put glasses. I need you to pull up to Diamond District on Monday, bro. And if you don't, the gatekeepers are gonna come looking for you because you almost lost your card last week, bro. All right.
Now, but look, Lex, at the beginning of Mac 10's very first single, he say, "Mac 10, you know you rule hip hop. Mac 10, you know you rule hip hop." Wait a minute, that ain't how the West Coast rock, nigga. And then the song starts. So they've been throwing shots. I love when the West Coast throws shots in New York. That's why I love Philly so much because Philly never bowed down to New York.
Is that true?
I like
you wouldn't say that, Glasses.
I like people that stand up to us.
Was you in the studio when he did that song?
I understand that.
This is 95.
Well, we always want a good fight. You want a real good fight.
I love that intro. Intro.
But Trill, let me ask you a question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Let me ask you.
I love it.
First off, it's not a shot. And I think that's the problem with slavers, right?
How are you going to tell us how we take it?
Oh,
it's a shot. It's a shot at
how we take it.
It's a shot at KRS-One because him and Ice Cube was throwing shots for years.
No, but that's not a shot. What it is he's saying that's not how we are supposed to do our thing. We can't.
Why does he explain stuff that why do you do that? We understand.
What about self-destruction? Don't pay the fucking rent. What about that?
Because at the end of the day, slavers are sometimes irrational. So then your insecurity of how you treated slaves for years makes you insecure. You always worry that somebody is going to trip and do something wrong because you
goddamn Glasses.
You have been wrong to people. You know, as a father, you've been abusive. So you always look for the day your kids is going to grow up and fuck you around. But the problem is, real motherfucking sons understand great discipline. And being a son of this culture is everything. So then what a man showed up, your son growed up to be an honorable man, stand on his own, not rely on the things that his father did, come out and make his own things. And instead of New York being a proud father, you get mad like niggas ain't giving me credit. Man, you beat the shit out of me to become my own man. What you thought I was going to do? Now I'm my own man. And instead of Lex, you being proud, you offended. Like when he said, hey, I'm going to do this thing my way. We're not going to take our father's way. This is how we should do them.
You didn't take our way?
Yes. And then we made
wait. You came up with something on your own organically?
No,
you did?
No, we have the DNA.
So what do you mean? What do you mean you didn't take your father's way? What do you mean then?
You being disingenuous because you just called them niggas trash.
No, I'm with you, Glasses.
Well, I never called the West Coast trash. Not the West Coast. I called the South trash.
Okay, well, either way.
What do you mean either way? The West Coast was dope. The South is trash. I stand on what I say.
You said we are not as good.
With 2 feet.
What about the Midwest?
Wait. You're definitely not as good.
What about the Midwest, Lex?
Yo, why mention them? It's like the Bronx. Yo, what I'm trying to tell you, man, I'll see MCs. Listen, hold on. I can't explain to you the beauty of New York City in the late 80s. I can't listen, blame me. I can't tell you how beautiful New York City was in 87 to 90 when there was so many. Yo, beautiful. Can you name dangerous? One of the problems I have with Glasses, one of the problems I have with him, he always, when he talks about New York City rappers, he talks about the cats that we all know. Tell me some CMCs and groups that you know without Googling them. Tell me some D cats like the OCs and shit like that, or give me the Bush Babies. Come on, give me some. The Celebrons, come on.
That's how I met Lex. That's how I met
the Little Rascals. Give me some other names, because if you love this shit so much and you're my son, I've been playing this shit the whole time. So rattle off some names.
Infamous Mob.
That's it.
So let me tell you something, Lex.
Yes.
I'm busy discovering our D cats.
Okay.
Oh, wait. So wait.
In the West with that. I respect that.
I appreciate that.
Trying to figure out our D cats.
So
how the hell I would discover the D cats in the South, the D cats in the Midwest, the D cats in the West?
It would make sense to me if the son knew the dad's D cats, then the father knowing the son's D cats.
I know your secret.
I'm not gonna know all your dirty friends that you hang around with in school on the playground.
God damn it.
But you know who comes to see me at my house. You know who comes from my job to see me at the house, or who I bring to the reunion, the barbecue. I'm not gonna know all the filthy cats that call women bitches at your school.
Hold on. Mute up, Lex. Mute up, Lex.
Have I ever asked you to talk about South Central Cartel?
They're dope.
The thing is, because I'm a father, I know about them.
No, you don't.
What does being a father have to do with
He called me the father. He called us the father.
So hold on. Before y'all go too far off this father thing, Glasses, I think that the disdain and the friction comes in when you get so big that you think that you should disrespect your father.
I don't think nobody is ever.
That might be what you think versus what the reality is. The reality is,
listen, historically, think about how these things have happened, right? The son is being abused. It's not the other way around.
No, this is not abuse. This is the nature of being raised in this circumstance. You can call it abuse if you want to because it's harsh. Right? You feeling that way because you're in your infancy stage. No, this is the level that you have to take it to in order to be respected or to be considered to be solid or a man. And that's what your father is supposed to raise you to do.
The problem is,
I think neglect is better than abuse.
You see the rest of the world respect the man that I am, the nerve of you to keep thinking that I'm not the man. See, I don't gotta be. Lex don't gotta be an attorney to be a man. His father was an attorney. He don't gotta be an attorney.
Right.
So for his father to judge him off of his profession when the rest of the world respects his profession, that's called being a great parent. When you understand your kids don't take your way, like to disrespect how Ice Cube rhymes and say, oh, it's not as good as this person. Whoop-de-doop-de-doo, doop-doop-doop. But the rest of the world is saying, hey, whatever this person is doing has my attention correctly. I respect it.
Who says that?
You ignore that. You ignore that because somehow you see yourself as a superior figure, even though he mopping the floor with everything you did as a father. He is more respected than you as a father, except in his father's house.
So this is what I'm saying. And by you using Ice Cube, that's not true because they brought him in. They embraced.
Why didn't you? So then why?
Thank you, Shaw.
Why do you think he felt the way he felt when he did West Side Connection? And he was saying
because he decided to start being disrespectful to his father. He did. That whole vibe of West Side Connection, Mac 10, was
love Ice Cube.
Respectful.
We always love Ice Cube.
I want to play a video for you after this.
Listen to me, T. They are not making it up. As a parent, when your kids are complaining about your behavior, they're not making it up.
Yeah, but listen, my kids cry because I want a wine because I won't let them get on the game before they finish their chores,
That's
right?
not what's happening here.
Okay, listen, I'm saying this in the sense of I want you to raise your level of what you're doing to a certain level. And if you're not attempting to do that, even representing yourself, raise the bar of what you're doing and don't just give me something foo-foo and tell me
Father,
that I'm supposed to honor this
Father,
as the authentic behavior that came out of me.
I am more respected than you. I'm more rewarded for my messaging than you.
Listen, and that's what I'm saying. 85% of the population is going to fall for the dumb, deaf, and blind, or be more intrigued by the drum. Don't give me dumbed down behavior and think I'm supposed to respect it with some upscale. No, that's not going to ever happen.
Maybe the problem is you always been over talking everybody and you missed the fucking mark.
I mean, this is. I mean, what you got?
He don't get it, Shy. He just don't get it.
Hold on, Lex. The conflict you guys are talking about. I mean, this is fences. That's what fences is about. The overbearing father who has a point, and the child who wants to break free and has his own good ideas, but also is managing how to get the respect of the father versus disrespect the father. That's the central conflict, and it's not something that
imagine. Listen, PG. Do you understand how Tupac felt?
In what sense?
When he got shot in New York.
Oh yeah, it's probably.
And everybody was doing interviews, and it was joke. And Puffy dropped a song, taking advantage of him being shot.
So that's the naiveness of a child not understanding his own behavior that put him in that situation. Absolutely.
Yeah, no other West Coast rappers got shot in New York at that time. It was just Tupac.
But
the one that was causing trouble. The one that was hanging out with niggas that shoot people.
That he shouldn't have been hanging out with. And if he was absorbing the Jews from your father and your mother in reality, you would not have been in that situation.
That might be fair, but a New York nigga could have made that same mistake.
Even though I could have got myself in that, the way you dealt with it as a father was your problem. The way you dealt with it as a father, the fact that you put out a song to take advantage of me fucking up. Right? That's what happened, right? When Who Shot You came out, that's somebody taking advantage of something I did to get myself hurt. And instead of y'all saying, hey, you know what? That's not right. You party to it. When you did interviews in a magazine and everybody seemed like it was cool and it was all fun. Here's a fact. It's not a fact. It's already been proven. We don't got to argue.
Hold on. Before you keep going,
everybody loved it. Everybody loved it.
Hold on. You do know this thing about Biggie being engaged in or being responsible or whatever. Hold on. That was started by him before Who Shot You came out.
Nobody said Biggie.
You said everybody.
I just want to play this. It's 30 seconds.
You say everybody was cool with it.
Hold on, PG. The fact that Puff decided that moment was a good marketing time to market that song, knowing that this happened to this man, even if he calls it on his own, it's not the correct behavior of a father.
What? Ridiculous.
I give you that.
Shot, don't give him that.
No,
don't give him that.
Wait, no. We need the PG, go ahead, hit us with the video.
Hit you with this clip, Glasses.
Yeah.
I think
what is this clip? What is this clip about?
It's a reel I made on Instagram in 2016 from one of my favorite. It's pertinent to what we're talking about. It's very pertinent. I made this in 2016 from one of my favorite interviews of all time. I think Glasses will appreciate this. Hold on.
Fucking white. Who's straight white? Wrong. We don't want your city and nigga watts. We don't have a problem with y'all. Fellas. Raekwon. Okay?
That's a sentiment.
That's
corrupt, Brent.
Corrupt is an angry man.
Yeah, young Gotti.
Get well soon too. To corrupt.
You want me to put that on YouTube? You want me to play the whole clip?
Your man said you stupid. You be like, so we out
my
here,
baby
man.
mama.
Nah, but yo, this is a great episode right now, man. It's
That was a great one, Trev.
Yeah. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You know what I mean? This is the 8th one right here. I told
Share
Lex
it,
about
too.
the end. We gonna be share it. Definitely share it though too. Leave a comment if you want an Apple drink though too. Word, that would greatly appreciate that, man. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. PG, good looking on pulling up, man. You might actually get a gatekeeper's key. You know what I mean? For real. You come through here, you supply us with some of your knowledge right there.
Might as well.
Even though you never on my side though, but it's all good though. You know what I mean? Seem to pick a glasses side every time though, right along with Steve ass.
How is it my
Here we go.
Yeah,
Here we go.
man, I'm on to y'all. I'm on to y'all, B. Niggas don't want to be trappers, B. I get it, B.
We gotta watch PG, Steve, and glasses, man.
Y'all
watch
want to be responsible. Shout out to all of the gatekeepers who want to be responsible fathers.
Yo, one more before we go out though. Do y'all want to get into that? You want to save it for next time though, Trill? Steve?
We probably save it for next time. We almost at 2 hours.
Next one? All right.
Definitely next
make
time.
that the whole episode.
It's a fact.
It gotta be dope.
I don't know about the whole episode. We can do it.
Well, most of it.
Y'all my children. One shot, you're disappearing.
All my children like a soap opera, you heard? But yo, we out of here though,
Got
man.
the challenge flag.
Easy.
All right.
Peace.
One.
Easy.
That old nigga said.
Damn,